You must be here to learn the craft, yes? Your alliance covers my considerable fees, allowing me to impart my knowledge at no cost to you. If you prove yourself, I'll certify you as competent to fulfill crafting writs. Crafting writs are daily requests for crafted goods. You must be a certified crafter to fulfill them. Prove you know what you're doing, and I'll certify you. I'm authorized to train and certify provisioners, alchemists, and enchanters. If this interests you, we should begin immediately. Good. We should begin while things are busy for neither of us. There is much more I can teach you. What else do you hope to learn from me? A provisioner condenses the essence of ingredients into food or drink. A true artist balances palate with nutrition. I can share this noble profession, but I can only certify one craft at a time. Understood? Provisioning is a rewarding yet grueling profession. Gruel, you see. I am capable of levity, on occasion. First you'll need a recipe and some ingredients. Then you shall roast a pig. Provisioning is a rewarding... Yes, I hope you don't think it beneath you. As bards learn lyrics before singing them, provisioners must work from recipes. A recipe specifies volume, proportion, and preparation time. Understanding these principles is key. I keep an old rival's recipe nearby. Go, find and memorize it. Return to me when you have done so. Roast pig is an easy recipe to learn, but difficult to master. Provisioners are only as good as their ingredients. The fewer the better. Simplicity of pairing is key. Now, go find ingredients for roast pig. If my stocks are empty, you should find what you need in town. Barrels, sacks of grain, kitchens, of course. It's food, it's simply around. Find what you need and take it. Should coin be of no issue to you, guilds often sell such items in their guild stores. You may also trade with an ally if they have any excess. Once you return with the ingredients, we'll determine whether you know how to combine them. I've always believed the hunt for ingredients is its own reward. Now, the moment of truth. Go to a cooking pot with your ingredients and follow the recipe. Return to me with the results, so your worth as a cook may be judged. Bring me your culinary creation so I might inspect it. I'll determine whether or not you deserve certification. Interesting scent. Do I detect a hint of Wamasu? No, that can't be right. Not how I do it, of course, but interesting enough to pass certification. You may now fulfill provisioning rites. Keep your pots warm and your ladle clean. Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you. Enchanters harness the possibility of runes, transforming them into the certainty of glyphs. I'll teach you, but I can only focus on one certification at a time. Is this agreeable? Potency, essence, and aspect. All beneath the stars bear these component concepts. When combined, they form glyphs, which add enchantments to items. First, you'll find these component runes. Then I will have you create a glyph. Absolutely, for such is the essence of enchanting. Runes of potency, essence, and aspect are the fundamental components of glyphs. Collect one of each variety before you return. I know of a cache outside this town. It is a rare exception for runes to be clustered so close together, so thank whatever gods you worship. Should the runes be absent, you must search further afield. There are many places one can find runes, but the ancient ruins of Tamriel are where I look first. Outside, primarily. They tend to gutter out if kept away from starlight.
Welcome to the impresario.
Once you recover 3 runes, one each of potency, essence, and aspect, we shall begin the enchanting process. You likely notice their distinctive flares of light. We begin at the enchanting table. There you will combine a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. This simple puzzle forms a glyph. Now go, piece them together. Craft a glyph using a rune of potency, essence, and aspect. Return when you have forged intent into form. You should attach it to an item so you can see the enchantment's effects. You are now certified to fulfill enchanting rites. May you unravel the secrets of Nirn. Your command of the crafts is impressive, but not yet in totality. I am still capable of instructing you. Alchemists are masters of the elixir. They trap magic in a bottle for later use. But I can only certify you in one discipline at a time. If this is agreeable, we can begin your training. As with master chefs, every alchemist must assemble the right components before crafting a special concoction. Are you so capable? We shall see. I require you to locate a solvent and some reagents. Then you shall craft me a potion. Yes, every alchemical mixture requires a solvent, a pure liquid base, and reagents such as herbs and flowers. Now go. Find a solvent and some reagents. Once you have what you need, return to me. There's a quiet area nearby with mountain flowers and columbine. A fresh source of water can't be far from them. If you find nothing there, venture into the wilds and seek them for yourself.
Only the finest wares here.
Locate a solvent and some reagents so you may craft a potion. I'll remain here for now. An apprentice of mine tried to use seawater as a solvent. I had him drink the results. He agreed it was a terrible idea after he finished retching. Good. Now go to an alchemy station. Use a solvent and 2 differing reagents to craft a potion. The reagents must possess common traits, or you'll waste all components. You see, alchemy is as simple as pairing like with like.
Goods at fair prices.
Blend the solvent's purity with the reagent's traits. Return to me when you've crafted a potion. Your potions have a slight fizz to them. but your skill with admixtures is unquestioned, far better than my former apprentice. You are now authorized to obtain and fulfill alchemy writs. May your elixirs remain potent and your reagents fresh. You show promise in every discipline I certify. Perhaps you seek to challenge my position as thrice-accredited master craftsman. If so, Millenith offers blacksmith, clothier, and woodworking certification. I last saw her at the local fighters guild.
Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. If you convince me you know how to use a needle and thread, I'll certify you. However, you must commit. I can't certify two things at once. Show me you can craft a pair of homespun gloves. First, you'll collect some raw jute, then return here and refine it. Finally, you'll use refined jute to make the gloves. Of course. It was the first trade I studied. I'm happy to certify anyone familiar with a clothing station. Now run forth and bring me a pile of raw jute. I spotted some raw jute growing on the outskirts of town. You might as well harvest it yourself. Should that not be enough, you'll have to search elsewhere. Search grassy areas in the wilderness for raw jute. You should find enough if you look around. Raw jute is plentiful if you know where to look. Just don't chew on it. It can really do a number on your... well, just don't chew on it. Head to the clothing station and craft a pair of homespun gloves. You shouldn't need much refined jute. Don't forget the style material. You can purchase them from any clothier or scavenge them yourself.
There's no excuse.
Craft a pair of homespun gloves. You'll need refined jute and a style material. Clothiers sell those if you can't find any yourself. You know, I'm a master clothier, yet I still own a pair of homespun gloves. They keep my hands warm at night. Sometimes simple is better. Wonderful! Now for deconstruction. There's much to learn from breaking down your own work, even more so with someone else's creation. Head to a clothing station and deconstruct your gloves. Or anything else, really. Just be sure you do it there. You're more than capable with needle and thread. I'll be proud to call you my colleague. Already done. You'll now be able to fulfill clothier crafting writs, and I look forward to seeing more of your work. Let me know if you have some time. I can train and certify you in something else. Prove you know your way around the forge and I'll certify you. But you have to commit. I can only train one discipline at a time. I want you to craft a simple iron dagger. First you'll mine some iron ore, then refine the ore into iron ingots. You'll use those ingots to make the dagger. Yes, you have to prove you know your way around a blacksmithing station. Those are the rules. For now, bring me an armload of iron ore. Once you're back, you'll refine them into iron ingots. There's a place outside of town which should still have some iron ore veins. Head there and mine it for yourself. Bring me 10 solid chunks of iron ore. If those veins are played out, you'll need to find iron ore on your own. You're back. I take it you found enough ore? Refining ore into ingots is a good way to build your muscles. Well, in one arm. Best to switch every now and then. Otherwise, you'll be lopsided. Go to the blacksmithing station and craft an iron dagger. Nothing fancy. You shouldn't need more than 2 iron ingots. Oh, and you'll need a style material. You can purchase them from any blacksmith, or scavenge them yourself if you're thrifty. Craft an iron dagger. You'll need some iron ingots and a style material. You can buy those from any blacksmith if you can't find them yourself. The trick is the style material, but I'm sure you know that. Next is deconstruction. You learn a lot when you break something into parts, even more so when it's someone else's work. Go deconstruct your dagger, or anything else really, as long as you do it at a blacksmithing station. You certainly know your way around a forge. You're a blacksmith, and let none tell you otherwise. Of course, I'll get you certified right away so you can fulfill blacksmith crafting writs immediately. There's only one more certification I can provide. If you need training, I have time. A good woodworker sees the final product before cutting the first block of wood. But I can't teach 2 crafts at once. If you commit yourself to the training, I'll certify you. I want to know if you can craft a maple bow. First, go harvest some rough maple. You'll refine it into sanded maple at a woodworking station. Last, you'll take the sanded maple and turn it into a maple bow. Absolutely! Bows are challenging to craft. Show me you're up to the challenge and I'll happily certify you. But first, go get me a bundle of rough maple. There's a place nearby which should have what you need. Collect an armload and return here. If there's not enough, you'll need to search for more. Look for rough maple in forested areas. Sometimes you'll see logs washed up on beaches. You should avoid cutting a rough maple log with a wasp nest inside. It's rather unpleasant. So are the lotions you'll need for the stings. Bring the rough maple to a woodworking station. As long as you have enough, you can refine it into sanded maple. Return to me when you've done that, and we'll talk about crafting a maple bow. Bring some rough maple to a woodworking station and refine it into sanded maple. It's easy work. I prefer to work with maple. It's reliable, plentiful, rarely full of wasps. Craft a maple bow at a woodworking station. You'll need sanded maple, also a style material. Scavenge them yourself or buy a style material from a carpenter. Craft a maple bow. Bring some... A good bow will get you far in life. Making good bows will get you farther. Excellent! Now we can talk about deconstruction. You grow as a woodworker when you disassemble your own creations, even more so with someone else's work. Head to a woodworking station and deconstruct your bow, or any other crafted wood. I've seen everything I need to see. You're a fine woodworker with a steady hand. Certainly. You're more than qualified to fulfill woodworking crafting writs. I'll certify you immediately. Truly, I never expected to master 3 crafts.
You shouldn't be here. Didn't you read the House Whiterun proclamation? I wouldn't be here myself, but some of my miners are still in there. Our mine was invaded by violent cultists. They showed up and just took the place over. My people are trapped. I'm no expert, but it looked like the cultists were preparing to conduct a ritual before the Ashlander interrupted them. Probably because I heard one of them say, "With this ritual we'll call forth a mystical weapon and attain the power of a god," or something along those lines. Look, I was just trying to get me and my miners out of there when the Ashlanders showed up. Really? That's awfully brave of you. If you see any of my miners, tell them to get their arses out here. I'll wait as long as I can. Or until I hear screaming. Then I'll go to Black Moor and try to find some help. Good luck in there.
You don't look like one of those crazy cultists, and you certainly aren't one of our miners. So by Vivek's holy nose hairs, who in oblivion are you? Really? Then forget I said anything about his holiness' nasal preening. They're some sort of Daedric cultists. They've been performing rituals, calling forth divine power, some such nonsense. At least they were, before the Ashlanders showed up. The savages barged into the deep chambers, seemed to know about the hidden passage and everything, stole the relic the cultists were praying over, and ran for the hills. As a matter of fact, that's where I'm going, as soon as it's safe to leave.
From the followers of Nikot.
Did you find what you were looking for in the mine? Of course. I perfectly understand. I think I'll wait a little longer and see if any of my miners were able to escape from the cultists. Good luck with your mission. Whatever it is.
Leave me, Outlander. Let me die in the shame I've brought to Malacath. Defeated by a lone warrior. Malacath will laugh at our incompetence. An assassin. Probably a Morag tongue. She tracked our leader here. But she doesn't know. We set a trap inside the ruins.
She's just one woman! Get inside the ruins and stop her! the assassin come. I'm tired of running and she doesn't frighten me.
Well, I'm not what I expected to find in a place like this. You have a habit of turning up at the most unusual moments, don't you, hero? Questions? I don't have time for questions. I have a writ to complete. Look, I can't keep these evil cultists waiting. You want to talk? Find me after I finish this job. Hero, we really need to stop meeting like this.
Come out, little assassin! Or is the Morag Tom too scared to meet the powerful snake face to face? Tusks, you won't get past me!
Excuse me, hero. I have to see an orc about a writ.
Kill me. I didn't mean to interfere with House Sylvani's plans. I made a mistake.
A mistake? Well, that explains everything. I'll just let the Telvanni know. I'm sure Mage Valen will understand.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought for sure you were going to kill me.
I am. I hate when my leathers get wet. And this is a new outfit, too. Ah, well. I suppose we ought to discuss what you're doing here. I have to admit, when I saw you, I thought, what the tusk are you doing down here? Pardon my orcish. Did you really follow me across the continent? That shows commitment. Kind of creepy, but still a lot of commitment. No, that's not what I expected. But you can just turn around and leave. You're not going to find her. Faye is going through a difficult time right now, and the last thing she needs is some House Redrin lackey adding to her pain and confusion. I know you, hero. It's old man Eris I don't trust. He didn't tell you about Vea's brother, did he? How House Redrin exiled their favorite son. No? I didn't think so. Vea deserves answers, and I promise to help her. You need to just walk away. Outsiders? Is her father really that desperate? Look, tell Eris that Vea's safe and you'll see her soon, but no more outsiders. If my organization gets skittish, they'll return to the shadows and take Vea with them. They'll only deal with you. Well, it's not exactly a lie, and I don't want things to get out of hand. I'll arrange a meeting, provided Vea agrees. You let Eris know she's safe. Get him to stop hiring freelancers before someone gets hurt. I'll send word when we're ready. That was poetry in motion. Not only is my organization getting choice assignments again, but we're starting to recover some of our prestige. Specifically, these Malakath cultists interfered with House Telvanni, so they had to be dealt with. Oh, him? No one special. Just the leader of this particular band of mad cultists. His name was on the writ, so I had to end him. It's what I do, after all, and I do it so well. I suppose if you're in for a sliver, you might as well be in for the log. I'm with the Morag Tong, and what you witnessed was a legal murder. According to my writ, the orc had to die. So, I killed him. Now, if you don't mind, I need to get back to Vea. Vea and I have a history. Her brother, too. They were good kids. Liked to watch me train. Now I feel responsible for her. When she came to me looking for help and asked to join the Morag Tong, who was I to refuse? That was her decision, not mine. Vea's good with a blade and tracks like a Nord Ranger. She's a natural at this, and it gives me a chance to keep an eye on her. So now I'm her mentor and she's my apprentice. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Your custom is welcome here.
I'm surprised to see you back here, but I'm also relieved. Does this mean you have news about my daughter? Is she safe? Is she ready to come home? Vea? Join that cult of assassins? I was afraid she'd do something rash, but what was she thinking? I don't see the Morag Tong as safe, but at least she's still alive, so I suppose that's something. When are we going to meet with my daughter? She won't meet with me? No, I suppose she's not ready for that quite yet. As for Vea's brother, that was all the doing of the Whiterun Council. I'm not allowed to discuss the details, but he's still alive, if that's what Vea is worried about. Naryu's back in town? She's as stubborn as Vea. Very well. No other outsiders. Although I can't dismiss the mercenaries that Captain Brivin employs. House Whiterun is my life, as is Vea. I'll do everything in my power to see her home safely. As you say, no other outsiders. But there are rules, Outlander. I must do everything within reason to maintain the honor of House Whiterun. Here. Your first payment. Soon, however, I'll expect more than just a verbal confirmation of Vea's safety. When next you see her, tell my daughter that I want to talk to her. Vea can set the terms. I expect her to stop running away when things don't go her way. Vea has always felt shackled by the rules of House Whiterun, hobbled by the many duties and obligations it presses upon its subjects. After the situation involving her brother, she decided she wanted nothing more to do with the house, or with me. That may be an oversimplification, but I suppose your statement is accurate. I walk a narrow path between House Counselor and loving father. Unfortunately, the former often supersedes the latter. That's why I want to speak to Vea again.